You've got to be nuts if you don't believe autumn is the most beautiful season in Appalachia, when the hardwood forests explode into spectacular shades of reds, yellows, and golds. Perhaps less appreciated is the abundance of soft fruits and hard nuts that accumulate on the ground. This accumulation of what is called mast is a critical nourishment for our wildlife populations.
According to the West Virginia Division of Natural Resources, the mast crop is not great. It's spotty. They do a mast survey every year. Some things in the hard mast category this year have been very good. Black walnuts, for example, have been very good. I know people whose trees are just breaking down because the walnuts have been so prolific and so heavy this year. But other things like the hickories are very spotty, the oaks are very spotty. And that will be harder for wildlife as we go into the wintertime.
Amazingly, the mast of the oaks outweighs all other nuts, wild and cultivated combined. Though labor-intensive, the Native Americans relied heavily on the acorn to survive through the winter months.
They made their own flour from nuts, specifically white oaks, because the amount of tannin in white oaks is less than it would be in red oaks or black oaks, things like that. So your white oaks, your chestnut oaks, they would choose those. And that's very evident because wildlife will choose those first also. But what they would do was they would take them, they would boil them a couple different times in water to get the tannins out. They let them dry, and then they pound them into flour.
The walnut is another abundant treat that can be found in the wild. Studies suggest the walnut reduces stress, as well as improves metabolism in overweight adults.
These would be the black walnuts. These are basketball shaped, and you can see the difference between the white walnut. Same family. Juglans nigra is the scientific name if you're interested in it. You'll let them dry and take that hull off, and this is what the nut looks like. And people use them for the same things, baking, candies, any cookies, anything like that, or just to eat them fresh right out of the shell.
A notoriously tough nut to crack, the hickory nut comes in many different shapes and sizes. Most have a sweet flavor, but there are a few that are too bitter to eat.
There are 5 species of hickories in West Virginia. These come from a shagbark hickory. They're a very large nut. If you choose some of the smaller nuts, then they're going to be a little harder to get out of the shell. You're going to need a very good nut cracker.
The beech tree is known as the courting tree for its smooth and easily carved bark, but its fruit is anything but smooth. Dressed in a spiny shell, beech nuts are small and take tenacity to shuck even a handful.
If you're sitting out in the woods squirrel hunting or taking a walk in the woods, certainly you could put a couple in your mouth and eat, but the bigger ones you could haul out, they're just labor intensive.
The American hazelnut is found on bushes instead of trees and produces high-calorie proteins.
You can use them just like you would use filberts for baking. Eating them, just sitting down, cracking them open and eating them is an option, or you can use them in any hazelnut recipe that you have. But those are some of our more common, easily found, easy to grow in yards, nuts that are in West Virginia, and I hope that you will give them a try, or 1 or 2, and I think once you get hooked on nuts, you're hooked for life.